let's see this little one here. What's that doing? Okay, they're creating energy. They're going to just become larger clusters, and they're creating energy for the ones around them. Let's see the red one. The orbs with the most authority are the blue ones. They're like emerald blue. And when they show up, all these other clusters just cleared away for them. So they seem to be the most important. Like royalty, I don't know. But the orange ones, they're dangerous too. They have more power than some of the other ones. They all have a function. This is almost like a communist society, like pure communism. Everybody has a task and nobody steps out of line. It's I don't know. I don't know if there's any freedom in that society whatsoever. But it's very organized, meticulously organized, and it's, as you can see, there's no collisions, accidents, or anything. Everything works perfectly, and everything is planned out. Now, what I think these things are like primordial life forms that have had billions and billions of years to evolve since the Big Bang, since the first electron was born. Since then, so they're like the oldest, I believe, life form in the universe, and this is why they're so intelligent. They've had a lot of time to evolve. So what they've done is they can change themselves into different states of matter and energy. They can change from energy to matter, or from matter into energy. And who knows what else they can do. They can do a whole lot of things. You see that cluster just move? I'm not moving the camera. That's just moving by itself. The camera is like really stable. So they just hover. And all that counterclockwise super fast movement makes them gravity free. And they can hover, and that's what the moon hologram is doing. It hovers just like that. If you look at some of my videos of the moon hologram and how it moves back and forth and stays in place, and it doesn't really do any kind of meaningful orbit, only sometimes, just to make us believe it's the moon. That's what these things are doing. They move just like that, just on a smaller scale. Now I'm on the camera. Okay, let's see these three friends. I'll give you a far away look first. Light up the smoke. We've been here a while freezing. We got cold tonight. So these things can consume anything and turn it into energy, whether living or non-living. You know, it doesn't really matter to them. They make use of all resources, and they need the energy just to move so fast, because their whole life cycle is this kind of movement, and it must really kill them to slow down and stop, because that's just not their natural way. This is sort of like their pace of life. Now there's no wind, the camera is not moving. It's the clusters that are jerking around. There's absolutely no wind. Otherwise you would hear it. The microphone is very sensitive. It's a dual stereo. And it's omnidirectional, so it would pick up any wind coming from into the camera. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. I'm just going to leave it here for a minute. Just trying to move them in the center. Notice how slow and steady the zoom works now. And go up to the top of that building. See what's going on there. This is not the high building, this is another building. The main thing to realize is how many of them are in the air and in the water. Just billions upon billions upon billions. And I don't know how many more they're going to create here or bring them in. Okay, so I have to go away from it and back. I think you've seen enough of those two. Let's see something else. I'm going to go up to the top of the big building. And look at those red lights again. They have their own little airport set up, but it's really a time and dimensional gate. That's the kind of an airport they have. And this is to signal the ones that are in the moon hologram and out in our atmosphere and beyond our atmosphere. These are all signals. And they change back off, just to give you an idea. Maybe they'll change. Sometimes they just blink like that, at other times they do different patterns of light. They don't always just blink like that. And As you can see, some have an orb on the side, some have an orb farther, some have an orb closer. At other times the orb merges into the larger one, and these are all signals. But the lights also blink in different patterns. They blink like one after the other, like Christmas tree lights. At other times two blink, the other two don't. You know, like they change patterns, and they switch sides. Which ones blink, which ones don't. Stuff like that. As you can see, these ones over here, they don't have. You see, the little orb is inside. You can see that there's teleportation going on between the two orbs right there. It's happening so fast you have to really watch carefully. But the orbs are exchanging smaller orbs between them. That's two clusters exchanging orbs, you see them? And they're also spinning around each other so fast that they look like they're standing in place, but they're really moving fast. You can see the orbs just back and forth, shooting back and forth from one cluster to the other. You can see how many orbs there really are in those clusters. There's about a dozen in each one. And don't forget, each orb is composed of smaller parts, which are also orbs. Or at least they look like orbs at night. And in the daytime when they glow. It's the light, the glow that makes them look like orbs. But in reality, they're insects, and they do have a shape, but they can also change their shape to suit their needs. They can also camouflage themselves and blend in if they're on top of a rock. They can look just like the rock, and they do that by vibrating so fast that they blend molecularly. I can say it right. Their molecules blend into the rock, and that's why you can't see them. And it's not just rocks; it's trees. It's could be even people or animals. They just blend right in, and you can't even see them because of the high frequency vibration that they produce. And they're just like a tuning fork. They can adjust the frequency or vibration super high so that it's super fast, or super low that it's too slow to see. I've seen them do both, and everything else in between. So their normal speed is super fast, but they're not limited to any speed, any shape, any form. They're not limited by our four-dimensional space. They're not limited by very much. So that's the big building. I'm just going to go back to the trees one more time, and then I'm going to shoot one in the sky. I still don't see the moon. Unfortunately, I hope it comes out tonight. Maybe it's on the other side of the building. Too bad last night I didn't have this stand and the camera fixed properly. I'll go back to see if the nest is doing something different. Let's look at it from farther away and see what happens. I'm going to raise it up a little bit. You can see there's even larger adults now on the nest. That's in the trees. And those trees are closer than the Humber Bay area and the bridge. And they're closer to me. They're like a half a kilometer closer than Humber Bay, which is about between 2 and 3 kilometers from where I am. So that's what it looks like from far away. And you can see that there's a lot of adults now on the nest. It's receiving a lot of activity. But don't forget, that's just one nest that's active right now. The whole area has a lot of nests that were active today in the daytime. They kind of alternate the tending of the nests. You can just see the whole thing very active. Just want to show the bottom part there. There's a whole lot of action, that's for sure. That's a guard cluster. And this is personal bodyguards to the nest. They're very close to it. They have levels of security. Oh, look how many. Security system's on. I need this for my computer to protect myself from YouTube. Maybe I'll ask them how they do it. And stop all the junk mail and junk files and all the viruses and the remote controlling they try to do. Wow. Well, there's a lot of workers tending the nest, that's for sure. They're all over it. Must be feeding time for the young. There's more activity over that nest tonight than last night. Or not the last night, the last video I made. The 6-part video I made. There's much more activity over the nest than there was before. Okay, so I think I showed just about everything. I'm gonna just go this way. Go over here. Check this lonesome thing out. Okay, that's a big one in the sky. about 500 to 1,000 feet off the ground. Let's see if I can get closer. That's a big one. Now when that gets bigger and rises higher, it pretends to be a star. But right now it's about only I'd say between 500 and 1,000 feet high off the ground. And you can see that it's in a plasma state. That one's very active. And there are smaller clusters also in a plasma state. So what it's doing is incorporating more and more clusters till it grows large enough. Then it'll go up higher and look like a star. But it'll still be in our atmosphere. It doesn't have to go out of the atmosphere. It just goes to a certain distance to appear to be like a star. But with all that energy, maybe it could be a star if it gets large enough. Who knows? So that one's up in the sky. Okay, I'm going to get off that one. I guess I've seen it enough. So that's maybe not 500 feet. It's between 3 and 500 feet. I was wrong, it's not 1,000 feet because there's a big building right there. It's about 50, 60 stories high. And it's got some red lights on it. Let's see what they look like. This is an unfinished building. They're working on it. Oh, let's see this. These are not lights at all. These are clusters. They're going to form. Yeah, these things are all over everything. There's no place that they don't exist. Yeah, these haven't formed yet, but they will. You see how many there are? Okay, I'm going to go up. Find the red light. Okay, here's the red light. That one is semi-plasma. It's going to go plasma soon. It's going to be full plasma very soon. It's building up the momentum inside the nucleus. You see the plasma starting to form inside. It hasn't built up enough speed. You see, as it builds up enough speed, you can see the orbs. And when they build up enough speed, the nucleus becomes plasma. It's the momentum I'm talking about. I mean, the counterclockwise revolutions around the nucleus and inside the nucleus itself. This is going to turn out to be a real long video. It'll probably take a long time to upload it, being that it's going to be a lot of gigabytes in high definition and a large video format. I think it's 980 by 1280 or something. I don't know exactly what the number is. Okay, getting off this one. It's freezing out already. I'm gonna try and point to if I can get something in the sky. Yeah, there's one way out in the sky, but it's too far. I can't really locate it. You have to listen to the camera so I can move it around. No, I can't find it. There's none very close to me. They all moved away. Every time I get the camera out, they were close before, but they moved away. Okay. Back to these guys in the building. Okay, there's let's see if they're doing any different changes. They're still blinking. That. There's their hexahedron shape. You know, that's a signal. That's a signal. Okay. Anyway, you saw that they do different signals. There's a real bright one right there. Let's see what that's like. And then I'll quit. I'm at 1 hour 18 minutes on this video. Boy, this is going to be a big one. I'm going to tighten the stand. It's got small organisms. And what it's doing, this one is feeding them with those rays. You see the rays? That's a feeder. And you can see the hexahedron shape of the nucleus. But that feeds small ones. And there's another blue cluster right there next to it. I'm giving it a boost. Sometimes there's 6 arms, like those horn things. There's 6 of them sometimes. And eventually this one will make 6. Right now it's not powered up enough. But soon it's going to be. You can see that it's powering up. There's that, it's not blue, it's purple. The one right behind it. And that's providing power, more power for that one. side first. This is where that dome thing is. I've seen a lot of things happening. Okay, those clusters are not formed yet, but they will. Okay, I'll back off. Well, there's the hexahedron. Okay. This one's pissed off. Did you see how it just popped in and formed? That came out of nowhere. Now look at the nucleus. How bright it is. You get closer. This is how I lost my vision. Staring too much at these things. So that was that big cluster from before. You see it turn into a hexahedron? Like I said, that's their primary shape. And when they know you're filming them, they put it up as a shield so you can't see what's happening. I'm in trouble putting it in the center. Boy, that's really powering up. It's all plasma. That's the one that's up in the air, but it's not that high up. Between 300 and 500 feet. Look at all that plasma. I'll watch that for a while. And then I'll cut it out. The moon is coming. I'm going to have to download this and clear their little memory cards so I can film the moon later. I'll let you watch this for a few minutes and then I'll go in and warm up and get ready for the moon. I mean the moon hologram. There is no moon. Okay, so it's 10:02 p.m. April the 5th, 2012, and this is Super Mushmouth. And I hope you watch this entire video because I certainly had a lot to show, and I hope at least it gets on YouTube so that people can watch it. Just check out all that energy, all created with momentum and biomass, and these are pure energy beings that can transform into different states of energy or matter, back and forth, no problem. Assume any shape, any form, any intellect, any thought, anything. And they're not just insects, they're super insects. Hey, just like super mushrooms. I'm going to give them the same name like me, super insects, but since I'm super mushrooms. Just check out all that plasma. And this is cold fusion. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they keep it cold with all that activity and all that momentum. But it's cold fusion. Otherwise everything around here would burn up. so I regret I have to stop this particular video. I'm at 126, but the moon hologram is coming. I'll be here soon. I can see its light over the window, and there are clouds. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch it in front of the clouds or below the clouds or something like that. And when I get a clear shot, I'll get to show what's on it, because tonight I'm ready. I went through a lot of trouble to get ready, and I'm ready tonight. And now that I've had a little chance to use the camera and the stand, I think I'll do very well tonight. It's 1 hour 27 minutes. I'm not gonna wait till 1:30. Okay. It'll be short to 1.5 hours. Okay. This is it. Thanks for watching.